Hi, this is Jill from Humu Yoga, and this is the full yoga practice. This week, we're focusing on the theme of peace. And I'm going to start us off with a nice centering, and then we'll get into some breathing, and then I'll go through the quotes, the inspirational quotes of peace. And then I'm going to go ahead and weave that theme into our practice, which can be a little vigorous, but we can find balance with it and come to a place of peace. Every week we choose a different theme, and I weave it into the practice. And if this is something you really like, please subscribe. Let's go ahead now, though, and get started. So we'll start with the hands down by the sides and closing the eyes for a moment. Just visualize all the muscles you're sitting on pelvic floor and just engage them, just enough so you feel supported. And we call that Mula Bandha. It means root lock. And then above that, below the belly button, get a sense of drawing in and up. And we call that Uddiyana Bandha. And then with Uddiyana Bandha, which means flying upward, engaged, and Mula Bandha engaged, at the top of the spine, just gently draw the chin down. And we call that Jalandhara Bandha, or chin lock. And it just seals in the energies of the bandhas. And then with the bandhas engaged, you're fully supported inside, so you can just let go of the hands and we begin to focus on the breath. As you inhale, visualize the rib cage expanding. And then as you exhale, visualize the rib cage, how it relaxes and comes closer together. And again, inhale, expansion. And exhale, it relaxes. One more, inhale, feel the widening of the rib cage. And then exhale, feel it draw closer together. Taking the hands to prayer position by the heart, we're going to vibrate an Om, and then I'm going to recite the inspirational quotes. Inhale. Peace is the result of retraining your mind to process life as it is, rather than as you think it should be. If you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. Peace. It does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of those things and still be calm in your heart. Worrying doesn't take away tomorrow's troubles. It takes away today's peace. Peace. It's so true that when you worry, it takes away your peace. And I love that through a yoga practice, we can stay in the moment with the breath, with the drishti, and just find a sense of peace throughout the practice. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll come to all fours and we'll just start some gentle movements. So we'll go ahead and round the spine, feeling the stretch in the back body and the support in the front body. And then inhale, come forward and arch. And now we're feeling more of a back bend and an opening of the sternum. And then exhale, round. Just stay here in this rounded position for a moment. Let your head hang. And from here, let's go ahead and very gently just take it to downward facing dog. So slowly start to roll out into downward facing dog. You could bend the knees here and try to get your chest closer to your legs, really reaching with the arms, and then try to gently straighten the legs. You could do that a few times, breathing, finding nice peace in this pose, and straightening. And then from here, just take a couple breaths, really noticing what's going on in your body today and trying to just breathe through it. Inhale and exhale. And then let's slowly walk up, coming all the way up. And then once you get all the way to the front of the mat, just drop your head. And then inhale here, we're going to lengthen through the spine. Find as much length as you can. Try to straighten your legs as best you can. And then let the arms come out to the side, reaching up And then exhale, everything comes down through the center, and just pause and find peace in this samasatihi and stillness. And now we're gonna start sun salutation A and start to really warm up the body in a nice even way. So inhale, reach. Feel the back bend here. And then as you exhale and come forward, you can feel a forward bend. Pull the belly in. And then taking the hands down, inhale, lengthen. Let's go ahead and take it back to a plank. Take a moment to hold the plank. Feel nice and strong here. Notice, are you sagging? Can you really get a strong plank with the tail under? And then I'm gonna come down to the knees, and we're gonna, to get better support, and we're gonna lower down into a push-up, and then push back up again. And then come through, inhale, lift the sternum, tail under, gazing down the nose, nice back bend here. And then we take it to downward facing dog, a nice forward bend. And breathe, inhale. And exhale, reaching. I'm reaching through the arms, I'm reaching through the legs, and I'm lifting the belly. Just being conscious of the breath, and my drishti or my gaze is to my legs or maybe in the direction of my navel, breathing. And now we'll slowly make your way up to the front and fold. Inhale, lengthen and rise, reaching, rising, and exhale, hands down. Let's do that again. Inhale, reach, exhale, fold. Inhale here, look up and lengthen. Exhale, let's go ahead and take it back. Find that nice strong plank. And then we're gonna lower, trying to keep that body line. And then rise and come through. Inhale, lengthening through the sternum, lifting, gazing down the nose, and exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe here, inhale, and exhale. Keeping the belly lifted as you inhale, and exhale. I'm working on rolling the shoulders away from the ears as I reach, inhale, and exhale. Inhale here, we'll make your way up, pushing down, lifting up, come all the way up, and fold. Inhale, lengthen, rising, reaching, and exhale, hands come down. Now we'll come into Surya Namaskar B, bending the knees. I'm gonna use the blocks here because they give me some height. I always practice with a set of blocks and a little towel or a strap. Reach up, inhale. They come in handy sometimes. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Let's go ahead and take it back. If you want to try jumping, keep your shoulders over your wrists if you can and float. See how light you can be. And then let's lower and rise. Inhale, coming forward. Lift the sternum, tail is under, gazing down the nose, and exhale, downward facing dog. We're just gonna come into warrior one. So stepping the right foot forward, turning the back foot out, and rising up. Warrior one, we take it into a back bend here, keeping the tail under on that left side, lifting up, gazing to the thumbs if you can, and then coming forward, reach. Take the hands down, step back, and we're gonna go ahead and lower. Gazing a little forward here, rise up, coming forward, lifting the sternum, tail is under, nice back bend, exhale, downward facing dog. Now we come to the other side. So stepping your left foot forward, the right foot turns out and it goes down, right? Reaching up, the tail is under on that right side. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, go back, gazing to the thumbs. Inhale or to the hands. Exhale. And then starting to reach forward, really reach. Take the hands down, step back. And we're gonna lower again. Find that gaze point a little forward on the floor and rise up. Coming forward, Lift the sternum, and we'll take it back downward facing dog. Breathing here, inhale, and exhale. Finding that your body's getting a little bit more warm with each breath, a little bit more peace and ease. Breathing. And then find a gaze point in front of you. If you'd like to lightly hop up, you could. Hop and fold. The blocks make that really light. Bend the knees, reach the arms, inhale, and come to stand. Let's do it again. Bend the knees. I'm not going to use the blocks this time. I'm going to see if I can find that height. Reach up, but it's fine to use them. Of course, exhale, fold. Whatever brings you more peace. Inhale, look up and lengthen, and make your way back. And from here, go ahead and lower, and rise, and come through, lifting the sternum, and downward facing dog, breathing. We're gonna step the right foot forward, inhale, reach the arms. Find the back bend here as the tail is under on that left side. One more breath. Inhale, reaching up, reaching forward. Take the hands down. Find an exhalation as you lower. Rise and come through. Lift the sternum. And let's take it back, downward facing dog. Left side. Inhale, step that left foot forward, reach the arms up, inhale, and exhale. And again, gazing up in the direction of your hands if you can, exhale. Start to reach forward, really reaching. Take the hands down, stepping back, and let's lower, exhale. Inhale, rise up and come through. Lift the sternum here, gazing down the nose. And let's take it back, downward facing dog. And breathe, inhale. And exhale. Finding nice length in your breath. That really makes everything calm down when you can breathe. Find a gaze point, either lightly hop up or walk up and fold. Inhale, bending the knees, reach the arms, and come to stand. Let's come to Samasthiti for a moment, and then we'll step the feet out. So it's always nice to come to that moment of peace and as we transition. So with the feet hip width, we'll come into Uttanasana. So take your hands on your, right where the hip sockets are. So right here, right where that's where we want to bend. And keep your spine lengthening, pull the belly in, and if your hips go back a little as you come forward, that's okay. But just try to straighten your legs. We're going to pause here for a moment. See how long you can get here. Lengthen the spine. And then from here, now grab the back of the calves, pull the belly in, and feel the forward bend. Breathe into that. Now try to draw your chin down and get that stretch to the back of the neck, that feeling. Pull in. Feel the bandhas. You're pulling your belly in and you're pulling down. Use your back muscles, not your neck. So roll your shoulders away from your ears. And now inhale, lengthen. And we rise. And exhale, come to Samasthiti, that standing still and straight, that place of peace. And now I'm going to go ahead and put the blocks down. I'm going to use them for the standing sequence. So I put one in the front and one in the back if you're using them. And then we'll go ahead and step out. And then from here, we're going to come into Trikonasana. So inhale here, exhale, feel the fold in the front leg. Right? But there's lots of length. Move your block if you're using it so that it's right under your armpit, or you could have your hand up here, or the floor, some of you. And then now we're gonna turn the right ribs as we breathe. Inhale. Exhale, turn the right ribs up towards the ceiling and gazing to the left hand, breathing. And now inhale, rise up, and we're gonna pivot to the other side. So when you move with breath, it's a nice peaceful movement. Inhale, exhale. So find that block, your hand under your armpit. Inhale here, start to turn the left ribs. Exhale, gazing up to your right hand. Exhale, and I love that you can be in the moment of today. What's going on in your body today? Inhale, rise up. Every day is different. And we'll pivot. And then we'll come across for Pavrita Trikonasana. And this can be a challenge balance pose. Inhale, but stay in the moment of it. Keep pulling your right butt back, right? That will help. And then take your gaze down at first and keep your spine long, then start to turn the ribs. Left ribs up to the right. Inhale. Exhale. Stay in the moment of this pose. What's going on? Exhale. Now inhale, start to rise up, and we'll go to the other side. I love how if you connect to breath, bandhas, and drishti, you'll stay in the moment. So inhale here, exhale, take the right hand down, gaze to the front foot, pull the left butt back. Now you're supported, so just turn the right ribs to the left. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and then exhale, turn the left ribs. In your drishti, your gaze is to your left hand if you can. And then inhale here, rise up, and we'll take a big step up to the front. Samasatihi, come back to that place of peace and ease. And now we'll step out again, and we'll come into Parshva Konasana. So turning the front foot out and the back foot in a little bit, melting first into warrior two, and then inhale here, exhale, circle the arm. Maybe your hand comes down to the block or to the floor, or maybe you stay up on your thigh, but inhale here, exhale, turn the right ribs. Now I'm gazing up in the direction of my left hand, breathing, inhale, exhale, and then inhale, rising up, pivoting to the other side. Try to make your transition smooth. Exhale, melt warrior two. So we're melting straight down, opening the hips. Inhale, gazing to my front fingertips as I come into Utthita Parshva Konasana, side angle pose. Breathing, inhale. Now I'm turning my left ribs to the right. Exhale. Now my drishti or my gaze is at my hand. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Exhale. Inhale, rising up, and now we'll do the revolved version. So turning to the right, we're going to take the back knee down, and we're going to come in tight into the twist. So inhale here, even if your left shoulder rolls forward a little bit, that's okay. Come in nice and tight. Inhale, exhale. Try it one more time, get nice and tight. Now take your gaze down to your front foot. It's easier to balance that way as you tuck the back toes under and lift up. I want you to keep pulling your right butt back. Inhale here, use the leverage of your hands pressing to your heart center to bring you around. Maybe you're gazing straight ahead, maybe you can gaze up to the ceiling, breathing. And then inhale, use that right butt a lot. Rise up. And we'll pivot to the other side. So we'll go ahead and take the right knee down. Inhale here. Exhale, you can turn your shoulder forward if you need to. Roll in just to get in nice and tight. And then find the gaze point. Take a few times, really get in there. Find a gaze point down to your big toe. Lift the back knee off and then use the leverage of the hands pressing into prayer position to exhale. Allow the body to turn. Gaze straight ahead, down the nose, or maybe up. Breathing. And then use that left butt a lot as you rise up. Let's take a step up to the front. Samasatihi. and pause. Be in a place of peace. And then we're going to go ahead and step out. Prasarita Padottanasana, spread out, forward bend. Take the hands on the waist, pull the belly in, and start to come forward. Start to come forward. Let's take the hands through and try and get your head down to the floor. You could also put your head up on a block. And now roll the shoulders away from your ears, breathing. Inhale, exhale, shoulders away from your ears. Really straighten your legs. Engage the front of the legs to stretch the back of the legs. As you inhale, look up and lengthen. We'll take the hands on the waist and rise. I'm going to use my towel for this next one, but you could use an exercise band or a yoga belt, or maybe you can just interlace your hands. But this, I feel by using the prop, it allows me to go deeper. So inhale gives me more peace. It feels like there's more space. We're going to come forward this way. And breathe. And then as I do this, I can really breathe into it, and it just happens. So I inhale, exhale, just let it go. Inhale, exhale. And again, inhale. Just take it to where you can. It doesn't have to come to the floor. Breathe. And then inhale, rise up. But it feels really good across here. And then let's go ahead and come into goddess pose. So we'll go ahead and turn out a little bit. You don't have to turn out too much. It's kind of a variation of a drill called horse dance put together with goddess. So we're not going to turn out too much. We're going to come into the pose, and let's come into a back bend version. So just lift the sternum and try to go straight down and breathe here for a moment. Breathing, inhale, find that back bend. And now let's come to center and let's try a forward bend. So come forward, you can open the knees a little. Come forward, breathe here. Notice how can you find peace in your forward bend and in your back bend. And then we're gonna come to center and breathe here. Inhale, see if you can sink a little deeper maybe. Inhale, it's a very strong pose. And then inhale, rising up. And we're going to take a step up to the front, Samasthiti. And now we're going to go through Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. I'm going to move the blocks just so that we don't trip over them. And I'll put them in the front. So we'll start with the right leg. And we'll come into a variation where we do a forward bend and a back bend, and see if you can stay in that place of peace. So we let the right leg come up. You could bend your knee if you wanted to, but I'm working on this. So let it come up. You can use the wall, right, if you needed to. But now we're going to try a forward bend. Exhale as you do that. Shoulders away from your ears. It's okay to use the wall. I really want your legs straight. Rise up. Now, as we go out to the side, I welcome you to back bend. Lift up. Maybe you can reach the arm. Just how does that feel? Breathe. And then inhale, we'll bring it back. Find a forward bend again. Rise up. And see if you can reach. Breathe. Breathe, and slowly come down. We'll try the other side. So inhaling, exhale, let your leg come up. You could bend the knee. And rise up. And then from here, we're taking it into a forward bend. It's okay to use the wall. Breathe, shoulder away from your ear. Breathe. Inhale, rise up. Now we're taking it into a back bend. So explore that. Enjoy it. Breathe it. Use the wall if you have to or if you want to. And bring it back. Forward fold. Rising up. Reach. Breathe. 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 And slowly coming down. And now we'll come back to the front. I'm going to put the blocks back down. And we're going to make our way down to seated. Inhale. Reach the arms up. Find that forward fold as you exhale. Let's go ahead and take the feet back to a down dog for a moment.
and really reach. Notice how your down dog feels now. And then we're gonna lightly hop up, and I'm gonna cross my legs. So hop up, or you could just walk up. And then we're gonna come down to the floor. And I'm practicing my Lolasana here as I lift up. Just see if you can. And come down. Or you just come to seated and we meet here. We're gonna come into Paschimottanasana. So Paschimottanasana is a stretch to the back of the body. So lifting way up. See if you can get nice length in your low back. Maybe you have to bend the knees to do that. And then from there, we're gonna come forward, but try to keep your legs straight. Maybe you can sit up on a blanket if you need to. Inhale here, and exhale, let's surrender. Shoulders away from the ears. Now, once you lengthened as much as you can and the shoulders are away from your ears, draw the chin in. And try to really straighten your legs. It doesn't matter if your upper back is rounded, but you want to keep your low back lengthening. Your hands could be here. So just do the best for your body. You could also be using a prop, right? This might be helpful. And breathe. You just want to go to where you find your peace, your length. Breathe, dropping the chin. And then inhale, lengthen, and rise. So we just stretched the back of the body. Now in Purvottanasana, we'll stretch the front, the east and the west. So you take your hand, we're gonna use the blocks. It makes this pose easier, but that's up to you. A variation of this pose, we're gonna lift up into a back bend, is to bend the knees and lift up this way. Right, you're trying to get the hips high. So that's a great version if this one is challenging for you. The blocks definitely makes it easier though. Roll your shoulders away from your ears, take a breath in, and exhale, start to lift the pelvis up. Keep your tail under, rolling the shoulders open, lift up and back, up and back. Up and back, pull your belly in, tail under, and then slowly coming down. So we got the back, we got the front, and now we're gonna make our way over to our knees. So I'm just gonna cross the shins, come forward, and actually I'm gonna use the blocks again here. If you wanted to, you could pad your left knee. We're gonna come into a nice hamstring stretch and then Anjaneyasana. So putting your left knee on a pad, or just make sure you're forward of your kneecap if you don't have one. And then step the left foot forward. And then from here, we're gonna really work on a forward bend, so getting the back of the leg. So I want you to really flex the foot and pull that right hip back, and then start to hinge forward. You may not even need the blocks. You may be here, but keep pulling that right butt back and surrender here. You could even draw the chin in and breathe. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, lengthen, and now we're gonna take it into a lunge. So let's go ahead and lunge forward. And as you do that, tuck this butt under on this left side, lift the sternum, and we feel this, the front now, right? The stretch in the front. And then rise up. Now we're gonna take it to Anjaneyasana. So we'll start with the hands like this, and then we'll start to lift the sternum, really lift. Then, as we reach the arms, take the tail under, lift up to go back, lift up to go back, keep the tail under on that left side. You can bend the right knee, lift up and back, and then inhale and rise up. Good, even though it's a nice deep pose, there's some peace there, and especially when you come out, it feels really nice. So I'm gonna switch the towel over and then straighten that left leg. And I'm really pulling this hip back and pulling the toes back. You could reach your arms forward. Maybe you could come down, drop the chin, breathe, inhale, shoulders away from your ears, exhale. Finding that length in the back of the leg. Exhale. One more breath. Exhale. Inhale, rising up, come up, and then I'm going to bend the knee, and now I'm going to lunge forward. But as I do that, I'm really pulling this right butt under. So I'm getting a nice stretch there. Breathe here, lift the sternum, keep that butt under, breathe. Inhale and exhale. One more breath, gazing down the nose to keep it calm, and then rise up. Now we're going to add the arms and come into Anjaneyasana. So we'll start here. Before you lunge forward, find your back bend here. Lift up to go back, up to go back. Now start to add the arms, reaching up to go back. Keep drawing that right butt under. Lift up, up, up to go back. Keep breathing. Breathing and gazing. Now I'm gazing in the direction of my hands. And inhale, rise up. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and make our way up to standing. So now we've come to standing, and we're going to come into dropping back. So I'm going to go ahead and I take a pretty wide stance and I turn out a little bit. So do what feels good in your body. Now this can be really scary, or it could cause a little bit of anxiety to know that you're dropping backwards, but don't think of it that way. Don't think of it that way. Think of it as an even back bend, and you're lengthening the front as you're working the back. So we're going to come in a little differently. Let's come in this way. So you're drawing the elbows down and getting a sense of width. So as we're contracting the back muscles here, right, we're starting to bend this way. We're opening the front. We're opening the front. Pretty soon you start to feel it opening even the front of the hips. And then when you've gone to where you feel okay, just start to reach the arms and touch the wall. And then we'll come up this way. And if that was okay, and you want to go deeper, you could step a little forward and try again. So we'll start with the arms like this, out to the side, drawing down and wide, breathing. I'm gazing down my nose, lifting up to go back, up to go back, up to go back. At some point, I'm going to circle, take my arms, reach. Maybe I can go a little further, and then come up. And then if everything's feeling okay, you could take a step forward, or you could just stay where you are. The next one we're going to hold. So wherever you are, just keep thinking up, up, up. So here we go with this different entrance here. Take the arms out. So I'm contracting the back muscles and I'm lifting the front. Contracting the back, lifting the front. Contracting the back, opening. Now I feel my hips. Circle the arms. You can drop them down if you want. And reach. Find a place where you can hold and breathe. Inhale. Try to take your chest closer to the wall if that's accessible. Inhale. Rising up. So hopefully you were able to do that in a very peaceful way, in a way that serves your body. So we just finished dropping back, and now we're coming to Samasthiti. So see if you can find stillness and peace. And now, after the back bend, we're going to come into a forward bend. So take the feet hip width, and let's do a nice roll down. So notice, can you get your spine neutral? Do you have a tendency to stick your butt out, which we call an anterior pelvic tilt? Or maybe you naturally curve this way, where your pelvis tilts the other way, and it's a posterior tilt backwards. So find neutral. And from this neutral place, we're going to curl the spine down. So starting from the head, pulling the belly in for support, roll, curl your spine down. Curl. You could bend your knees if you needed to. We're stretching the spine after we've just worked it a bit. So come down, and then from here we're going to roll back up. Curl. You could bend your knees, like I said, but try to keep them straight. Pull the belly way in so we're not sticking the butt out. It's not Uttanasana, right? We're really curling and coming all the way up. shoulders down and wide. And then inhale one more time, rounding the spine, supporting. Now we're pulling the front in to stretch the back, the opposite of the drop back, coming all the way down. And now from here, let's just grab the elbows and just allow the elbows to be heavy. Now, if your butt comes back a little, your hips, that's okay. Just try and keep your legs straight and breathe. It doesn't matter how low you are. Now we're gonna draw the chin in and just get even more stretch. And breathe here, inhale. Exhale. Gazing down the nose, keep it nice and relaxed. Exhale. And then inhale, let's slowly curl up, pull the belly in. It's a nice counter pose to that back bend. And all the way up. And then from here, we're gonna come down into Malasana, or a squat. I'm gonna use this wedge prop that I've had for a long time, but a blanket, a folded up blanket would work. Or a lot of people don't need anything to squat. So whatever works in your body. If you have to lift the heels, that's okay too. And then we're gonna inhale here, exhale, start to come down into your squat. And breathe, inhale, and exhale, taking your time. You could use your hands, that's totally fine. And just come into where you can. And breathe here, gazing, now I'm gazing down the nose into my hands. Inhale, and exhale. See if you can take a little twist. So maybe your right hand comes down to the floor and you open, gazing to the left hand, breathing, inhale, exhale, coming back to the center and going the other way. Inhale, turning the left ribs to the right, exhale, one more breath. Come back to the center, see if you can find some peace and ease. And then slowly, we're gonna come to seated. So you can slowly just come on down. And from here, we'll come to Baddha Konasana. So feet together and the knees open. It's nice to open the feet. To me, that helps open the hips a little bit. See if you can scoot forward. And notice, is your spine curled back? Or can you lift way up? And maybe just stay here. Or maybe if you want to and it feels nice, you could come forward and lengthen. And come forward and lengthen. And just take it to where it feels good in your body. I'm using my elbows to encourage the opening of my inner thighs. And breathing. Exhale. I'm going to draw the chin down. And then inhale, rise up. Now I'm going to move the feet out a little bit. And I'm making this nice diamond. And we're going to round the spine. Pull the belly in. And just let your head come down. And breathe. And if you wanted to, or if this was hard for you, a block is nice. Here, or maybe here. Whatever works in your body. This is definitely more restorative. Pull the belly in. And be in peace. And then inhale, rise up. And we're gonna make our way down to the floor. So from here, you could straighten your legs, or you could be slightly bent if that was better in your spine. And then we're gonna start to now curl the spine. So if your knees were bent, you might be able to straighten them now. Curl, you could hold on, or maybe you don't need to. Really focusing on pulling the front in, so we're stretching the back. Come all the way down. And then from here, we're gonna go ahead and bend the knees. Take a breath in. We'll sequence the spine up into a bridge, lifting up as high as you can. Let's go ahead and reach the arms. And slowly curl the spine down, pull the belly in. So now we're just releasing all the way down. And we'll do it again. Inhale, exhale, curl, lift up. Maybe you want to lift the heels this time. Make sure your neck is lengthening. You're not back, you're not forward. Nice length, reach the arms. Curl and come down. Keep reaching the arms as you curl. It feels really nice. Curling all the way down. And now we're going to come into a nice supported inversion. So if you wanted to use your block, you could. And you put it under the pelvis and let the legs come up. And just breathe here. Make sure your spine is neutral, you're not arched, you're not tucked under. And try and straighten your legs so you get they're activated. And those of you who want to do halasana and shoulder stand, if it's not contraindicated for you, if you don't have osteoporosis, you can go ahead and do that, where you come over, keeping the neck long. You could pause the video. I'm just gonna kind of go through this. You could lift up, or you just stay on the block. You could come down. This sequence is nice for people who have access to it. But we'll meet on the block. And breathe. And then from here, we're gonna go ahead, come off the block, and we're gonna come into a nice little glute stretch. So cross the right ankle over the left knee, and then from here, pull in. And I'm encouraging the opening of this right knee as I do this. And I'm relaxing the shoulders, breathing, inhale, pulling in a little tighter. And then we'll take this now into a twist. So inhale here, taking the right foot down to the left. And then I'm gonna exhale, turn my gaze over to the right. Breathe, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, letting the legs come up. And we're gonna go the other way now. So shifting the hips a little. And I'm gently, with my right foot, pulling that left knee down a little and gazing over the left shoulder. Feels really nice in here. Top of the hip, the waist, turning, breathing. And then inhale, coming back. We'll do the other side. Left ankle over the right knee. Pull in, relaxing the shoulders as you pull in. Feel that nice glute stretch as you encourage the opening of that left knee. Make sure there's no shoulder tension. And pull in. And we're gonna go ahead and take the legs over to the right. So my right foot touches the floor. And I gaze over the left shoulder and I breathe, inhaling and exhaling. And then inhale and letting it come up. And I'm going to shift the other way, let the right knee come down. With my left ankle, I'm gently pulling it down and like at a diagonal, it feels really nice. And then I'm going to gaze over the right shoulder, breathing. Inhale and exhale. Slowly letting everything come up. I'm going to pull everything in and curl up and then release into Shavasana, finding total peace and release of the body, peace in the mind, and just stay in that sense of peace and ease. You can stay here as long as you like, but I'm going to go ahead and take us out. So just become aware of your breath, but stay in this peace as you do this, right? Becoming aware of the breath and moving a little bit, fingers and toes. And then we'll bend the knees. And we'll make our way over to the side and pause in a fetal position just for a moment. Be in that peace of ease as you slowly make your way up to seated. And then we'll come into a nice Sukhasana, happy seated pose. And just stay here for a moment and notice, is your body, is your mind, are you at peace? And can you live in that and let it resonate in everything you do? Namaste.